Hello, friends and family, and welcome back to the back nine of the 2023 Music City Open.
Hey now, that's my line.
I thought you were still stuck in the mud at Mill Ridge, Holly.
Well, thanks to some tow trucks, I got out. We are your commentary team for today. Thank you, Ace Run Pro, for coming out here and filming the FPO chase card. If you haven't checked out the front nine, you should do that. And here is our leaderboard, a couple of names that you know and a couple that you might not. Kristen Tatar at the top. Check out Sarah Gilpin in 5th place. Jennifer Allen is hopped up the leaderboard.
Silva Saarinen, that's not a name I've seen. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but shout out to you for being on that leaderboard. And starting off on hole 10, 285-foot par 3. If you watched this tournament last year, you might recognize this hole. Out of bounds plays left and right, but the creek does happen to be inbounds all the way around. Really want to just put a drive out flat with something that's going to gently turn to the right, or you can kind of force over something that's going to fight out of it a little more. Krissie opted for that forehand that we've seen her be very comfortable with all day.
She hits the gap, but it's headed towards that little creek area. Hopefully she can get a par from there. There is that out of bounds on the right side, and sometimes the wind is not the same at the basket as it is around the tee. You could tell from Hailey's body language she was just sick of that shot as soon as it left her hand.
Did she just try to throw like a putter forehand?
I'm not really sure what went on with that, but check out this shot from Kona. Almost called her Kona Panis.
Kona
Montgomery with the first run back from Flight Factory.
There we go. Kona gonna start off the back nine with that first birdie of the round and showing the card how to play this one.
Parked it.
Henna looks like she's going mid-range here. Fights through the last branch, but not an open putt there. And yeah, the grounds team is trying to keep up with the saturated conditions out here, you guys, but it is about as wet as you will ever see a Disc Golf Pro Tour course play. It's very sloshy out there, and yeah, just get your rain gear on because it's going to be a long day.
Now, one time I played USDGC in the performance flight, and you asked me on round one if this was the worst conditions I'd ever seen. No, it wasn't. Those were the worst conditions I'd ever seen. This is Krissie for par after she pitched out from the creek area. Get up there. It doesn't quite connect for the par. This is King to save her par after the scramble.
Yeah, you see a lot of players end up just shy of the circle here, and that jumper can, or that circle 2 putt can just be a little bit scarier on the elevated basket. I gotta say, if that USDGC was worse than this, then I'm glad I wasn't on tour yet.
Kona with the birdie.
Let's go, Kona.
I'm probably gonna keep calling her Kona Panis for the next year.
All things take time, like when you just turned a new age and you forget for the first couple weeks what age you are, and it's like that.
I miss when kids would tell you how old they are with the months or the half. I'm 6.5. I'm 7 and 2 months. That's important, you know.
Take pride in your age, you guys.
Yeah, let's check out hole 11. I think this is probably, my favorite hole on the course. The most beautiful green for sure. Coming in at 270 feet, par 3. It's a straight shot, but it's got a low ceiling. So if you can start your disc off high, let it fade, drop down a little bit below the canopy right before the green to sneak up there. Otherwise, you can throw a faster disc a little lower You could even do a ground skip up to the basket. The rocks, though, they can send you in the wrong direction if you hit them. The biggest mistake here is ending up left or right, not in the gap, and then it's almost unscrambleable from there.
I'm going to hope for Kona's sake that that camera was following her disc and was not just hopefully trying to catch something coming through, but both of those players are going to be probably in a lot of hurt right now.
I want to see someone up on the green. Let's get up there, Henna. That's going too right into that tough scramble spot. I mean, she's right there, but it's just so thick of a wall of trees. Come on, Krissie. Here's our last hope. Ooh, I like it. Yes, Krissie in the circle. She'll have a putt for birdie.
Hailey very fortunate to be able to swing out.
The post? Come on.
Man, that's
I
really...
feel like that should have been maybe moved for the tournament, but it is what it is.
I agree 1,000%.
This one's getting away from Hailey a little bit. She's got some scrambling left to do for bogey.
We're not playing a punch forehand. Makes a little progress, but...
Look at this. From Narnia for bird.
She finesse it. Oh, just looking for power here. Very smart. He probably had the window to try to make it, but...
She's a smart player.
Oh, and Hailey just playing super quick. Conrad was trying to get out of the way, move to his next position, and she said, I'm just going.
Krissie doesn't put enough height under that to capture the birdie putt.
Oh, and that was a great looking putt out of Kona.
It was, wasn't it? A stinky double for Hailey here on the 11th. I hate to see it. I do love this green though, with the rocks and the moss. It just sets up for such a beautiful sight.
It's so good, and there's not any trees right around the first, like the inner 15 feet of that bullseye circle, and so you kind of get the nice light popping through sometimes. It's really so beautiful here.
Why disc golf? It's the people. It's fun.
It's the lucky shots. It's the feeling.
So come out.
Grab a disc.
Or two, and let it fly with Lone Star Disc.
Hole 12. I really like this par 4 as well. 429 feet out of a tight gap. That cluster of trees we just flew past on the left, you really have to test. And you need to get the nose up enough to where you can fade left, which will give you a sight line to the basket. This is one of those holes where if you can have sight on the basket for your second shot, you're pretty much counting it in for the birdie, or at least giving yourself a chance. But the tee shot can be daunting, so make sure to really focus on hitting that gap and take whatever else happens.
Henna up first. She hits the gap. I like the height and the power. And she lands high left, which will set her up nicely to attack the hole for birdie.
Krissie just not quite enough turn, but that's a really good reaction.
Wasn't it though? That was lucky. That's probably the most common error on this hole, hitting that center clump of trees. Did you see Kona clip some of it as well?
Hailey a little bit lower than Henna, but gets a good skip and still able to climb the hill a bit to the left there. They're both in prime position. Kona got pretty fortunate to get to where she was, and looks like she's okay with taking a par from there.
There's a lot of space to work with, just straight and left. You don't have to push this wood line right unless you're trying to be aggressive and get up there for a birdie. But as soon as you get into the woods, as you can see, like everywhere else, it's just super thick. It's King's second shot. What a great drive that was. She's in the circle putting for birdie.
Yeah, she probably just wanted to put that one a little bit closer, but Henna, oh.
That's probably the furthest drive I've ever seen on this hole in the FPO field.
Yeah, that was a great drive by Henna. Honestly, most MPO players are probably looking to be in a similar position on this one.
And there is a pond behind the basket. You might get a glimpse of it. There it is. I guess a pretty neat area that
Yeah.
we don't really utilize. It's kind of just hanging out back there.
I really like that they just, you know, like you said, doesn't really come into play, but opening up the sightline to it, I think, just adds another layer of beauty to the course. And great save for birdie from Hailey after leaving that upshot shorter than desired.
I feel like that would have went in if the disc was dry.
Yeah, not the best upshot from Henna. She was so close there, probably inside 200 feet.
I hate
Maybe.
that because she had such an amazing drive. And Kona gave that a confident bid, just a bit offline there. She'll be taking a bogey here on the 12th.
Krissie drops in that par. And after
It's
that,
really fun and interesting to see the contrast of playing styles. For example, Henna's aggressive distance and Krissie, who doesn't quite have the distance, it's just more of a slow, steady play. And like I said, par got you on lead card yesterday. So I just love seeing the contrast in skills and abilities out here. Let's check out hole 13, 526. Land your drive right about here. That'll give you a nice clean shot through this gap, probably a hyzer chip. And I feel like last year this bucket was in a different position. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of the men's basket. Hailey King lands her drive a bit short. The key for the drive is really the positioning. As long as you can line up well with that gap, you can give yourself a shot at birdie. Otherwise, you're playing at par or a weird scramble at best. Henna might have thrown hers too far.
but she caught like a cut down tree trunk right there that kind of saved her from kicking into the gap. Who knows if it would have been a good or bad situation, but
Ooh, I like this one from Kona.
yeah, it's one of those courses that's so wide open on a lot of shots. I find myself, if I like the angle and release the first 1 second out of the hand, I'll just stop watching it and just go get my stuff because I know it's somewhere I can deal with.
I like efficiency,
Yeah.
as long as you know where your disc is.
Yeah. True. If it's bad, I'm watching.
King hyzers her second shot. She'll have about a 45-footer for birdie. I like the height on it. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, and like Holly said, Henna might have penetrated into that wood line there, but the stump kind of helped her out, I think. Just not quite high enough on that approach. Another circle 2 look. Krissie taps the cushion on her way to getting up and down for the par.
King for birdie.
Yeah. Oh. Thought we had one there.
Henna for birdie. Oh, 2 band hits.
Pitched up out of sight, swings it in a la Greg Barsby. Into the band, unfortunately.
Yeah,
There it is.
Kona Montgomery. It's a good looking putt. 2 birdies here on the back 9.
Yeah, good to see some green on that card for Kona. Let's see if Krissie can find a way to grab grab a birdie during this muddy war of attrition. Hole 13 actually played as the second easiest hole on the course today. Course played a little easier than yesterday. 4 holes played underneath, whereas yesterday it was only 2.
I feel like it was wetter and colder today, but windier yesterday.
Yeah, I agree. And with this much out of bounds, that can make a big difference. Hole 14, a par 3 at 315 feet, dual option. You can play down the gut here with the backhand. If you're a right-handed player, out of bounds is right there the entire way though, and it's really close to that tree line. You can also swing out the forehand to the left if you have the distance, or if you're a left-hand player, maybe you can play a backhand skipping in. This one's just, yeah, very drive dependent. Obviously every par 3 is, so that was kind of dumb to say. I love watching those lower dies fly. Any of the dies that have that kind of choppy spinning flight, I always love.
Kona in the circle. That shot looked pretty good to me.
Yeah, I think Hailey might have just been a little high. She might have caught that big bushy tree, which it can be really hard inside of there, so hopefully she didn't penetrate into it too far.
I don't see a lot of forehands out of Henna.
Yeah, I think it's one of those holes where, you know, even if she feels good with the backhand, I think it's just the big number potential is there with the backhand, whereas with the forehand, it's almost, you almost can't mess it up too bad. But Henna does find a tricky spot.
Krissie gets caught up by a twiglet. She'll have to scramble for par. Yeah, and as the round went on, it just got colder and the rain picked up.
True story. Throughout the entire day, it just kept getting colder and kept getting wetter. The wind continued to kind of just slowly pick up.
Nice pitch up from Henna.
Yeah, very fortunate to have something inside of there. Oh my gosh, look how
Where
many...
where are you?
Yeah, there's that massive tree we were talking about.
Is that Kona?
That's Hailey, I think. She found
Oh,
it.
that is Hay. I don't even know who that is. Oh yeah, you're right. White hat.
I played with
Oh
Andrew
my
Fish yesterday,
gosh.
and he had a similar position, a little bit right of where she was, and he almost had to like lay on the ground on his belly to throw a shot.
I love a laying down shot. Yeah, I mean that is just crazy thick. Cut us a little area under there.
Yeah, I mean, we don't necessarily have to have the height to like be able to make your putt, but at least let us get into the lie, you know?
King for par. That's just annoying.
Yeah, and you can see that rain really starting to pick up.
All right, this is Kona for birdie. Get up.
Kona's been regaining some confidence on the green, starting to give some good bids here on the back nine.
Yeah, they're looking strong.
So much of being a good disc golfer or maximizing your potential is just always, you know, just committing to each shot and just not holding back. But sometimes it can go awry and you feel like keeping it simple is a little easier. It's a hard balance to find.
3 pars, 1 bogey here on the 14th.
Hole 15 is a doozy, I promise you.
Did you see our man Felix in that commercial?
Lacing line.
Star. Man, let's check out hole 15, par 4. 666 feet. I don't like that. I'm going to call it 667 feet. This thing is treacherous.
I said I liked it yesterday, but I told the people I was not a devil worshiper. I just like.
Okay, well, I'm not going to like it, so I've changed it to 667. This hole is crazy. You've got out of bounds all along the right side, and it just continues all the way around the basket. There's a lot of different shots off the tee. I've seen the straight shot and then an aggressive hyzer around that tree. Just keeping it in bounds is #1 key on the drive. Kona does just that.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm expecting something amazing out of Henna.
Kona kind of filtered through that tree to beat.
It's going left. That's going a little too left. I mean, it's usable, but I would have rather her been in the fairway.
Yeah, I think she'll be happy with par from there. Oh, and Krissie asking for that to sit. Maybe not quite like that, but...
On the outside edge is good. All right, Hailey King, let's see something here. I like it as long as it stays in. Oh, thank you, clump of trees. It's just what we needed there. All right. This is Krissie's second shot, just keeping it safe in the fairway.
Hailey looking to press here, and sometimes a course like this can make you pay for it. Hasn't quite been her day.
She is out of bounds in that corner. There is a disc-eating tree in that corner. Come on, swing left.
Oh.
Kona also in that same OB corner. That thing is dirty. That tree back there, I'm telling you, it is hungry. All right, this is Henna's second shot. She landed a little left. I don't like the roller here because of the OB, but it's safe.
Luckily that grass is wet enough to slow it down.
That made me nervous. This hole is something else. Last year, it was actually hole 17, and it just really gave you that you got to finish strong feeling. And look at Krissie getting herself a drop in.
Hailey ripping it into the ground there and just trying to punch it up. Another long putt for her. She's had a lot of circled edge or just outside putts all day, and in the conditions like this, that added stress can just kind of wear you out.
It's a good way to put it. Beautiful upshot from Henna.
Kona was looking for a little more turn out of the hand there.
Bogey putt from Hailey King. Flight Factory run back.
Yeah, not only is this a super hard hole, but it's also kind of a very common walking spot for the spectators to move from spot to spot. So a lot of times there's some action going on in the background, some extra distractions. Just not committed there from Kona.
She will walk away with a double here on hole 15. And Krissie Fountain getting a par.
And as
Slow
Henna
and
taps
steady
in.
play from Krissie.
Yeah, the hole 15 actually played as the hardest hole on the course today. And showing you guys why there. Henna all pars on the back so far. Definitely looking for some green, and let's see if she can get it here on 16. This will be our easiest hole of the course today. 263 feet. This one's a par 3 island shot. You gotta clear over this wall of trees, decide whether you want to play the high hyzer over the taller trees on the right or play something straight at it with the slower disc. The circle is literally less than a meter bigger than circle 1. Or sorry, the island is less than a meter bigger than circle 1. So, very tight quarters here.
Henna up first, taking the hyzer route. And it was just long enough to get inbounds. Taking the hyzer route adds a bit of distance to the shot.
Krissie straight at it. That one felt like it might have had a chance if it could have held a little longer, but just not quite the pace.
Hailey King throwing a J. A new mid from Innova.
Oh, I wonder if that's...
Look at that! Course love. A kick off the branch back to the inbounds island. Man, I'd be hugging that tree.
I wonder if Hailey will play that disc if she's having a good round or if she just wanted to rip it at the basket on this one.
Right,
Kona.
trying to win the... Actually, we do have a prize here where you win a Gibson guitar if you get an ace.
Super cool to see certain events posting up CTP or ace prizes. Always adds some extra incentive to the players, even though obviously we always want to birdie everything. Or ace in this case.
Krissie Fountain for birdie. There it is.
There we go. That's how the smile finally cashes in the birdie. She tried to hold it back, but
I saw that. I saw that huge smile. And King with a ricochet birdie.
Wow.
I wish I could get a replay on that. I'm going to have to check that out later after Ace Run posts this round. Kona with a solid birdie putt. And this was actually hole 18 last year if you watched any of the previous year's coverage.
yeah, slightly different teeing area, but same green here. And we went from the hardest hole on the course in 15 to the easiest on 16. We're heading over to 17, which was the second hardest, so we're here for a roller coaster at the end of the round. 3 birds.
17, 355 feet, par 3. You've got to throw it downhill over the water that's obviously out of bounds and land safely into this island area. Like the previous hole, there's a couple of different ways to play it. I've seen the players take the hyzer shot, the straight shot, and I have yet to see a turnover shot, which I would actually love to see. It can be a little tricky there if you take the hyzer shot. Those trees can catch your disc. Is this the layup play? I haven't seen this yet either.
Yeah, I think if the wind plays opposite of this headwind we're facing, we would see some more of those backhand turnovers you're talking about. Haley decides to go across. Does it have the distance? Oh, yeah, all day.
She'll be putting for birdie.
She smoothed that one out. Kona playing a white disc up into the air, testing our cameraman's abilities, and shout out to Catch Cam for reining us in there. Some of these players' disc selection is, it makes it hard on the camera guys. But these guys have great skills and understand how the discs fly.
Krissie's second shot. Wow, and she is safe. This is Henna for birdie.
You can just hear the rain coming down, hitting that microphone, letting you guys know once again that these conditions are not good. They're quite the opposite.
Hailey King for birdie. Not quite on line. Let that one slip away. See if Kona can get another birdie. And she doesn't want any piece of it. She lays it up for the drop-in par.
Yeah, this has to be one of the sloshier greens out there for sure. Just this whole hillside just drains down into the water there that we just threw over. So,
Oh,
and on cue right there.
Oh, that is...
Oh, gotta wait for it to come to rest.
Dang it.
And
That is an unfortunate bogey for Krissie after a smart play.
for sure, those can be some of the hardest ones to swallow. She stayed in control and did what she wanted and just didn't.
Especially after the birdie on the previous hole. I hate to follow it up with the open-faced bogey sandwich. Kona with a smart play, didn't want to risk the putt and just pitched it up, drop in par.
Henna
What a
still
crazy
all
day
pars.
it's been. I know that back nine is looking clean for Henna.
Portland, I love you.
Hole 18. I lied to you guys earlier. We have 3 par 5s out here. This one is 723 feet. You really got to clear these trees to give yourself an opportunity at the birdie. If not, it's going to be tricky. Allowing yourself to throw through this gap here on the second shot, landing somewhere around the drone flight there, will give you an option to come into this green. Another elevated basket, and this one plays uphill for the second 2/3 of the hole. First bit is down. That looks pristine. Got a king. Almost able to get up to the flat footing there, but not quite. Still gonna have that uphill run up to navigate.
Ooh, I like the height on that.
Henna's power is legit, you guys. She
Listen,
just,
I'm just gonna have to tell the catch cam, if Henna's on the card, y'all gonna need to back up a little bit.
like I'm telling you, Henna's landing in the MPO positions on a lot of these holes. This one is the same hole as MPO. We just play a par 4. Ladies play a par 5, and Henna she's right there where you want to be.
Krissie's shot has landed over into the rough,
Oh,
and Kona getting her cart out of the way. Per PDGA rules, you can request players to move themselves and or their equipment.
I think Kona was moving Krissie's stuff there, though.
Oh, that was her
an
Krissie's
MVP play.
cart?
MVP play there.
That was so nice.
Oh, and I thought we might get through the round without a slip, but Krissie, yeah, it's hard to generate the power coming up the hill here, especially when you know the footing's not good.
Kona makes it through the gap up towards the basket, kind of. She'll be able to possibly play for birdie from there. It's hard to tell the angle.
That's hilarious. I'm pretty sure we had Cole Radallen getting called out yesterday on this hole during the coverage. Go double check if I'm wrong, but kind of funny to see that again.
Henna threw it so far she had to contend with that middle section of trees. I have never seen that before. You can hear the players' footing just squishing as they're doing their shots.
Ooh, Krissie gets a little scary there, but able to get it up there.
King up there inside the bullseye.
It's not bad to be off left where Hailey was. Gives you less trees to navigate. Just kind of one big one or two big ones versus a whole bunch of small guys.
And I believe Kona is up there putting for birdie.
Ooh, it almost gives that one a bid. A little more turn, we might have saw another run back.
Wow, nice finishing birdie out of Henna Blomroos. What a clean back nine. and a highlight birdie finish. Ooh, high and right.
Wow, those baskets just, you never know what's in until you watch it drop sometimes. Especially when it's wet like this.
Solid finishing putt from Kona.
Good to see her get it going a little bit there on the back after a out of sorts front nine.
All right, another birdie.
3 birdies on the 18th to finish out on a strong note. Always helps you feel just a little bit better regardless of how your round might have went. And we saw Henna at even par. Gonna be just off the mark of that lead card, but we're gonna get to see her again tomorrow alongside Katrina Allen, Sarah Gilpin, and Deanne Carey. Holland Hanley climbs to the top of that leaderboard sitting at 1 under par.
Shout out to Allie Smith sneaking up into the top 10 after a great under par round today. We appreciate you guys tuning in to this round 2 back 9 coverage. Please like, follow, and subscribe the Ace Run Pro. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, check it all out. All the links are in the description. My name's Holly Finley. I've got a couple of Tour Series its you can grab, as well as some pro tips on my YouTube. You can check out all those links in the description as well.
Yeah, check out my YouTube as well and look for my Orbit Rivers to drop here soon.
See you tomorrow.